Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. The new Premier League season is about to start and the new Premier League season comes naturally with a Premier League predictions video. Just like last season, I'm going to predict the entire league. So spoiler alert, because this one will be 100% correct. So yeah, let's just start. In 20th place, I'm going with Southampton. Now Southampton did get promoted last season after their playoff win. And I think they're just gonna go straight down, just like 2 seasons ago when they got bottom. I think they're gonna get bottom again. The squads and the quality of that squad didn't really change those in these 2 seasons. So for me, there's only the logical way of thinking that they're gonna get bottom again. There hasn't been that much of a change. They might not get bottom, but I think I would be very surprised if they manage to get in the league. So I'm going to stick them at the bottom. In 19th place, I'm going with Ipswich Town, a fellow promoted team. They got second in Championship last season. In 2 seasons, they went from League One to the Premier League, back-to-back promotions. Insane stuff for them. I'll take my hat off to, definitely a pun intended there. Do they have enough to stay in the Premier League? I don't think they do. They got some players in, but I think the quality of their squad just isn't good enough. The reason I have them above Southampton is because, Ipswich doesn't very often that they get to play in the Premier League, so they're gonna fight, just like Luton did last season. They're gonna fight for every single point. Which is why I think they won't get bottom, but I still think that their squad really isn't good enough to stay, and they will get relegated alongside Southampton. And now we go to the 18th position and the final relegated team. In 18th place, I'm going with Leicester City. Yes, indeed, I predict every single team that went up from the Championship to go straight back down. I really didn't want to do it. I truly didn't want to do it. I had Leicester. For the past week, I had them in 17th. I was not going to predict them to get relegated. That's until I took a look at their squad, and apparently their squad really is a bit lackluster. I thought, like, back 2 seasons ago, I really thought that Leicester's squad was too good to get relegated. I was really surprised by that. And I thought that they would keep like their core strength of that squad. I took a look at their squad and they really did not have that good of a squad. They did dominate the Championship though. If they didn't like slack off the last what was it, 8 games, they would probably have like a record-breaking Championship season or something. So that's why I wanted to predict them 17, even though there is definitely a points deduction above their head, but when is that gonna get announced, and how much points will get deducted? I don't know if it's 5, 10, 15. Will it be in September? Will it be in March? Like this all like depends on where they will finish, because teams that have had points deductions always seem to do better than expected. Like Everton did better than expected last season with their points deduction, and I really thought that Leicester would do too. Like they're gonna have this attitude of, oh, they want to get us out, let's fight like the extra mile, you know. So if they got like 10 points at the beginning of the season, I thought, okay, their squad is probably good enough to stay in the Premier League without that points deduction. I think they're gonna fight. I think they're gonna sneak their way into 17 so they can stay. But I saw their squad and it's really didn't impress me, especially with the other Premier League teams. So yeah, eventually I did decide to put Leicester in 18th and down with their fellow promoted teams, but I really had them for like the entire week prior to making this video in 17th place. So if they now do manage to stay in the league, I'm going to be very pissed. Because the team is 17th, which we're about to bring up, I thought I would think they would get relegated, but I bumped them up after seeing Leicester's squad. But who was that team in 17th? So in 17th place, I gone with Brentford. I really thought that Brentford would get relegated the prior week, as said in the Leicester segment. Why? Because ever since Brentford got into the Premier League, where they're really impressed with like a top half finish, I believe, they've like slowly but surely like went down their level bit by bit. And last season they came in 16th with only 39 points. 39 points. If you're a bit unlucky, it could get you relegated. And I think the trend would would go on, and I think they're gonna drop off slightly again. So that's why I thought they would get relegated. That's until I saw Leicester squad, and Brentford squad is just better than Leicester's, if I'm completely honest. Even, and that's with like the points deduction for Leicester still in play. I know Brentford got Ivan Toney. He's a good player, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. Brentford is slowly trending towards like their relegated teams. Toney a bit overrated in my opinion. I mean, he's still decent, but he doesn't score every chance that he has. But yeah, they got the new signing, Thiago from Club Brugge. I'm Belgian myself. Let me tell you, he's gonna flop. All right, Thiago is gonna flop. Don't buy strikers from Club Brugge. Have you not learned from Wesley Moraes, who went to Aston Villa? Yeah, take it from me. He's not gonna do much at Brentford. And overall, the squads and anywhere else, I don't think they improved anywhere else. So yeah, I think they're gonna get like 35 points, but it's gonna be enough because the three promoted teams just aren't like good enough. They didn't spend enough in the transfer market. It's gonna be a boring season with the three promoted teams going back down just like last season. So Brentford 17 in 16th. I have Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest got 17th last season. I think they improved their squad a bit, and I do rate their coach. I do rate Nuno Espirito Santo. I think he did great things with Wolves. I think he can do the same with Nottingham Forest. There's a lot of talent in that squad, and it's about making them play together. And I think he's the man for the job. He did it with Wolves. I think he can do it with Nottingham Forest as well. So yeah, there's not much to say about Nottingham Forest. Why I have them above Brentford? I think their overall squad is just a bit better. They don't rely on one player anymore. Like I love Elanga, Hudson-Odoi is great. So yeah, Nottingham Forest. I don't think they will have that much relegation troubles. Maybe towards the beginning and the middle of the season, but I think their quality is enough for like to have like slightly relaxed season compared to previous. So yeah, Nottingham Forest will be in 16th place. In 15th place, we've got Everton, just like last season. Everton 15. I predicted Everton to finish the 15th. They finished 15th, so I'm gonna do it again. Everton 15th. There it is. I don't know. Yeah, not really that much has changed. They got rid of Onana. I don't rate Onana. I'm Belgian. I don't rate him. He's 60 million. Are you kidding me? Really, 60 million? Like what? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, squad didn't improve. Squad didn't downgrade. Sean Dyche still there. It's gonna be a creepily like similar season to last season for Everton, I think. I mean, they did get a points deduction last season. I don't think they will get one this season. They might. I've heard some rumors saying they might, but I still think they got more like a rigid structure than a Nottingham Forest and a Brentford, and they're a three promoted team, so they won't get relegated. But their quality in their squad isn't really that great, so they won't get. The squad isn't better than the squads above them in my prediction. So yeah, Everton will get 15th in my opinion. In 14th place, I've gone with Wolves. Wolverhampton Wanderers. This is like a similar spot than with Everton. Like they didn't really improve their squad, didn't really downgrade their squad. They got 14th last season, I think, or 13th. I don't quite remember. They were around there. Yeah, I don't know. There's really not much to say. Like Wolves will get 14th. Not gonna get relegated. They're not going in the top half. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Again, exact similar season than season prior to this. So yeah, Wolves 14th. There's not really much to say else. Like, yeah. In 13th place, I'm going with Bournemouth. Bournemouth got 12th last season. I think they're gonna drop one position, mainly due to selling Solanke and not really upgrading their squad anywhere else. Their coach is good. So yeah, it's gonna be a similar season, just with Solanke gone. I think a bit of a downgrade. So that's why I'm going to predict them like one position lower than a previous season. But again, not much the same. Bournemouth 13th. I don't think Bournemouth fans can complain with that. If they get 13th every season, I think Bournemouth fans would be quite happy, to be honest. So yeah, Bournemouth 13th. In 12th, and one position higher than previous season, is going to be Fulham, in my opinion. Fulham, they got Smith Rowe, which is going to be a very good signing for them, I think. Again, very similar season. I think they got a bit of an upgrade, so that's why I think they will finish above Bournemouth this season, where Bournemouth got a downgrade. So yeah, Smith Rowe is going to cook at Craven Cottage. So yeah, Fulham 12th. Really, these middle of the park teams, I don't. There's not much to say. Really, not much has changed for these teams. It's gonna be like the middle of like the lower mid table is gonna be eerily similar to last season, and honestly, I can't predict anything else because it's just the same. The managers are the same, players are pretty much the same. Like I don't know, like what do you want me to do here? Like I don't know, it's just a boring prediction, but it's just the way it is, you know. So yeah, Fulham 12th. And in 11th, barely missing out on the top half, is gonna be Brighton, in my opinion. After their European campaign last season, after finishing 6th the previous one, and they finished 11th actually previous season as well. So yeah, same position as previous season. Again, boring, but what you want me to do? I think they downgraded with the coach. De Zerbi is definitely better than whoever they brought in this time. I think he's gonna. So, but still, Brighton is Brighton. They buy some random kid from Bolivia, and he's gonna be like in the Premier League team this season for some reason. I don't know how they do it, but it is the way it is. So yeah, there's a lot of talent in the squad. I like the signing of Weaver from the Netherlands. They got some. Their attacking options are brilliant with Ferguson, with João Pedro, with Mitoma. Rutter is probably going there soon as well. So yeah, but I think the coach will have some trouble with like making them play together in the beginning, which is why I think they will get 11th instead of 10th. But 11th and 10th are really close in my opinion. So Bournemouth, if they get 10th, wouldn't surprise me. If they get 9th or above, that would surprise me. But I think 10th or 11th is where Brighton's gonna be. I would put money on it. But who have I got in 10th? Yes, indeed, it's gonna be Crystal Palace, who I have in 10th place. Reason why I have them beating out Brighton is because what they did at the end of last season. They were like one of the best teams in the league. Final like 10 game weeks. So yeah, they're gonna build on that momentum, even though they did got rid of Olise, who's gonna be in BIS, but I think they've still got some great players like Etsy, like Mateta, like a Doucouré, like a Marquehi, if they can keep him. So yeah, Crystal Palace still have some decent players in their squad, with their coach Glasner, who got them cooking at the end of last season, I think they're gonna be slightly above Brighton, but it's gonna be close in my opinion. I don't. For people that say Crystal Palace will get European spots after their impressive end of last season, you're a bit stretching there. They're not. Their squad just isn't good enough to get in the European spots. I'm sorry. 9th place for Crystal Palace is just is amazing. They got 40 points every single season. From the season they got promoted, which is like what 10 years ago now. They got like a point total in the 40s every single season. I don't know, like that's crazy consistently. In 10th, however, they might get like 52 or something. And I'm going with 52, because if they get 52, I'm gonna look like a genius. Yeah, I'm going with it. They're gonna get 52 points. You heard it here first. Crystal Palace 10th, 52 points. So in 9th place, I'm going with Chelsea. Now Chelsea did one of the most stupidest things I've ever seen in a Premier League season. They got rid of Pochettino when they finally got the squad cooking at the end of the season. I don't know why. Why didn't you keep Pochettino? You got Maresca, who hasn't proved fuck all. Like what? Chelsea. And then they bought like another 23 players for like 500 million. Because why not? No, it's not gonna work, Chelsea. It's not gonna work. What are you doing? Like, you got so many players now. Like, yeah, you got Palmer, who's good, but like, he's not gonna carry you again. Like, uh, Chelsea is what's wrong with with football, and it's not gonna work, man. It's really not gonna work. There's gonna be too much competition. The coach doesn't know what he's doing. He can't know what he's gonna do with like a squad of like 35 players. And the man has only one full season before him, and it was with Leicester, who were by far the best squad in their league last season. Like, no, it's not gonna work. Maresca is probably getting sacked mid-season as well. And they got the Conference League as well. Like, I don't know. Like, Chelsea, what are you doing? Honestly, it's not. You can't beat the teams above you. It's not gonna be possible. I'm sorry. Like, if Chelsea does get in European spots, like, fair play to them, but I don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening. So yeah, Chelsea in 9th. Have fun with it. In 8th place, I'm going with Aston Villa. Now, Aston Villa got 4th last season. Why do I predict them 8th? Well, they got Champions League football now. And it's not the same as the Conference League as to you can't rotate in the Champions League. You're gonna play your best starting 11 in it. When in the Conference League you can like put your B team in and you're still gonna win against some random Croatian team or something, you know. It's not gonna happen in Champions League. It's gonna be eerily similar to what Newcastle did last season, where they got 4th, and then they got Champions League, and they dropped off a bit. It's gonna be the same with Aston Villa. They still got like very good players in there. They got Watkins and such. But yeah, they got Onana. I said it before. I don't think Onana is gonna be that big of a difference maker. So yeah, Aston Villa 8. The teams above them are better, have a better quality, are more experienced with playing European football alongside Premier League. So yeah, I think Aston Villa will struggle to get back in those European spots, but I think 8th place gets them Conference League again, right? I mean, if England gets in the 2 best teams coefficient-wise, I think 8th place will get Conference League. I believe. I don't know. But yeah, Aston Villa, you get Conference League. You shouldn't complain, really. You were like in the Championship like 5 seasons ago or something. So yeah, Aston Villa, 8th place. And now we get to the part of the video where there is a lot of teams who are really close in my opinion. But in 7th place, I'm going with Manchester United. Honestly, if they get 4th, I wouldn't be surprised. Like the difference between 7th and 4th, in my opinion, is like very minimal. There's like 4 teams who can switch positions, and it wouldn't totally surprise me. The reason why I got Manchester United in the 7th is because Ten Hag is still there, and Ten Hag doesn't know what he's doing a lot of the time. They still, like, I mean, they got some players. They got Euro, he's injured, so it's to see what he can do after his injury. He's still young, so probably his first major injury. Let's see how he comes back from that. You got Xerxes, who is a bit of a similar position from or a similar type of player than Højlund, in my opinion. So that's not really a huge upgrade. I think they got the leg, so yeah, defensively they could be better, but I think they got really lucky a few times last season with games they should have like lost that they won somehow, and they still barely got 8. So I got them in 7th. I think they'll improve their style of play a bit, but I think if they're gonna get as lucky as they did last season, where they've won like 4 or 5 games which they should have like lost or drawn, I think that's gonna balance out a bit. That's why I think Manchester United will be in 7th. They got Europa League towards the end of the season. They're gonna like play their full strength there as well. Maybe not so much in the group stages. Yeah, you know, they need to get in the top 8 of the group stage, of course. So yeah, maybe they will, but yeah, that's so yeah, Manchester United 7th. I think because of their coach, and he doesn't really like convince me enough. I'm putting them in 7th instead of like a 6th, a 5th, or a 4th, because I think those teams have a better manager and maybe some more things to play for. So, in 6th place, I'm going with Tottenham. Tottenham got Europa League football this season. I think there's a bit of like internal damage that has been done between like the coach and the supporters after they lost to Man City like in the penultimate game of the season, because they wanted to lose, because when Man City won they would win the Premier League and Arsenal don't. Like since then I think not Pochettino, Postecoglou, I think he kinda there's like some beef going between them. I mean, it's not really beef, but you know, there's some tensions, you know. And really didn't upgrade their squad. I mean, they got Solanke. I mean, Solanke is a bit of an upgrade, I would say, but anyway, but like not anywhere else on the pitch, I believe. I mean, Postecoglou, he started previous seasons like very well. They were like in the top 3, top 4 for like the first half of the season, and then they dropped off. And that drop off is, I think, the level that Tottenham brings consistently, which is why I don't think they'll get in the Champions League spots again this season, which is why I've got them in 6th. And last season they didn't get. No, there wasn't European football for Tottenham this season. I mean, it is Europa League, but like. It is still something you have to travel for every Thursday. You only got 3 days rest from Thursday to Sunday, so yeah, that's gonna also make sure that Tottenham won't get as far in the league as they would. So that's why I've got them in 6th. If they get 4th, I mean, they still could. I've said it, like 7th to 4th, in my opinion, is very close. So, but I've got them in 6th because the coach is good, but he's not the messiah that people thought of him at the beginning of last season. So yeah, I'm going with Tottenham in 6th. Again, Europa League football for Spurs. And in 5th place is gonna be Newcastle. Newcastle has no European football to worry about, which is gonna help them tremendously in their league position this year, in my opinion. They're gonna get a 5th, which should give them a place in the Champions League if the English teams doesn't choke again in the European competitions, which they really should. And England should always be within the 2 best teams in Europe coefficient-wise. They got Tonali back after his suspension for a year, so Tonali is a very good player. He's gonna bring that upper level, and even if like Newcastle wasn't at the top level last season, they still got like 60 points with an injury crisis, can't forget. So I think Newcastle with Eddie Howe is gonna play a lot better this season, and I think they'll get 5th, where Champions League football is on the cards next season again. I don't really want it to happen, to be honest, because Newcastle with their oil money as usual. So yeah. But I think Newcastle will get 5th. Gordon is still good. Isak is a great striker. Tonali with Bruno Guimaraes, that midfield is insane. Yeah, Newcastle 5th. It's why I have them 5th over like the likes of Tottenham and Manchester United is because of no European football. Their injuries crisis is gonna be hopefully a bit less for them. So yeah, Newcastle 5th, Champions League. In 4th, and oh boy, in 4th I have West Ham United. You might think I'm crazy, but hear me out. West Ham is gonna be playing Champions League football. West Ham is gonna be absolutely cooking teams this season. Their transfer business is really impressive in my opinion. Their front 3 is Fulkrug, Bowen, and Kudus. What the hell? That's an insane front 3. Fulkrug is a great 9. He's just gonna bang in goals left, right, and center. Kudus is an insane player. Bowen is an insane player. And even their midfield is great. They got Paqueta. They got Robert Prowse. There's another player I'm forgetting. Soucek. They got Soucek. At the back they got Todibo from Nice, who was almost with Man United or like a top team. their squad is stacked right now. They got no European football. They're gonna be freed from the ghost that is David Moyes. I mean, Lopetegui, it seems what he can do. I don't think he's the greatest coach of all time, but I still think he will do a job. He's gonna be playing a more attractive kind of football than Moyes is. It's gonna give like a great vibe to the whole team, to the supporters. So yeah, I think West Ham is gonna get fourth. I don't know if I'm crazy for saying that, but I've been thinking that for like the past week. That West Ham, then their transfer business is insane, their front three is insane, their midfield is insane. They got Todibo. How did they get Todibo? No European football. I think West Ham is gonna get fourth, guys. They're gonna play Champions League. It doesn't sound right, but I think it's gonna happen. Am I crazy? This is by far the most like crazy prediction on this list so far. So like let me know if you think I'm crazy, but yeah, I think they're gonna do it. I think West Ham is gonna West Ham. Most people predict them to get European spots. You know, they're gonna predict like a sixth or a seventh, mostly a seventh. I've seen. I don't think anyone predicts them to get in the Champions League. I'm gonna be the one to say it. Their transfer business is insane. Their squad is stacked. It's gonna be a great season for West Ham. Like, this is like the banker. If I get this right, my prediction is like insanely good. But then again, 4th to 7th is for me very close. So if they get 7th, it isn't that much of a surprise for me. But I don't know, something says in me that West Ham is gonna get 4th and in the Champions League. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of Aston Villa last season. I think it's gonna be a similar type of season to Aston Villa last season for West Ham. So yeah, West Ham 4th. Bet you didn't see that one coming. In 3rd place, I'm going with Liverpool, just like last season. Well, Liverpool, obviously, Klopp is gone, which is gonna be a huge loss. They got Slot, who, what I've seen from him so far, looks like he's a pretty good manager. I'm not too worried about him. What I do worry about is that they haven't signed anyone, and so for the near future, I don't really. I'm scared for the future of Liverpool, but if they're gonna get they didn't get Subimendi. It's like the 3rd time in a row they can get a 6. All because it isn't the right player, you know. It's him or no one, you know. Because we can't find it has to be the right player, you know. Like if supporters are already tired of it. I don't like with this success of like 2019 and 2020. That's already 4 years ago. I mean, yes, they got like a few cups between there, like a FA Cup, some League Cups. But is that really and that is the level that the owners that FSG want for Liverpool? They don't want them, like, we don't want them fighting for the league, you know. They want like consistent Champions League money. That's the only thing they care about. And I think it's gonna take a toll on supporters rather sooner than later, because there's no ambition anymore to get trophies, which is why people like Van Dijk and Salah and Alexander-Arnold might just leave at the end of the season with their contracts running out, and it's really worrying as a Liverpool supporter, because we want to play for the Premier League, we want to play for Champions League, but without like this ambition signings, it's not gonna work out for them. You know, it's the middle of August. They still haven't got a player in. The number 6 position has been a problem for the last 2 to 3 years, and they still haven't managed to sign anyone. You can't convince me that there isn't a single 6 in the world that can improve their squad significantly. You can't convince me of that. But I think 3rd again this season, they're more experienced than the teams below them. They're more. They're not. But I don't think with Slot first season they're not gonna challenge for the league again, which is not really that much of a surprise. Who will win the league, in my opinion? But still, it's gonna be. Let's see what they can do in the first season and the next season. Let's see what can happen. But I'm not really that confident in it, to be honest. But for this season, I think Liverpool would get a solid 3rd. No Champions League worries, like Champions League placement worries, I mean, and no title charges, I think. So yeah, Liverpool in third. In second is Arsenal, just like last season. Arsenal, they got some players, they got Calafiori, decent signing, but again, there really isn't that much more that Arsenal can do, I think. Like, at some point, they're gonna drop off. I don't know when, but I don't think their squad is just good enough to get like the titles over the line, you know. I don't know. There's something with Arsenal in their style of play. It's something about it says they can't just keep up with it. It's gonna come back to bite them sooner or later. I think this season is gonna be like the final season of where they can like kind of push Man City at the top, but it's not gonna be enough again. Yeah, it's gonna be like a similar season to previous seasons. Just like, yeah, they're gonna be there, but they're not really gonna like scare anyone. It's just once Man City is at the top around like January or February, you aren't gonna catch them. Like, you're just not. Like, that's just the way it is with Man City at this point. So yeah, Arsenal in second, and then obviously in first is gonna be Man City. Yeah, there's not much to do about Man City. Again, it's gonna be the 5th Premier League title in a row. Didn't even really like buy anyone. I mean, they bought someone from one of the satellite clubs. And don't we love football, modern football nowadays? But yeah, Man City is gonna win the league. Not much to do. They're just gonna decide, yeah, fuck it, we'll like win like 11 games in a row because we feel like it. I don't know. So yeah, Man City is gonna win the league. Big surprise. Does anyone really think that like someone else can win it? Honestly, like except if you want to go for like the like the full court 3-pointer buzzer beater like prediction or something, like no. Man City is gonna win the league like 99% of the time. Like it's just boring, you know, like 5th time in a row. Hey, oh, please, FFP come through. Come on, this season you have to get sanctioned, please. Let's just all pray, guys. Prayer circle in the comments, guys. Please. Let the Chargers finally relegate them to like the national leagues. Come on. Let's do it. Come on, prayer circle, guys. Come on, everyone, do it. Do it. Prayer circle, come on. Anyways, Man City first. What a surprise. So yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave down in the comments which team is a bit of an outlandish shout. I think I've gone fairly safe, except for West Ham. It's gonna be West Ham. It's gonna be. I'm gonna regret it. Nah, man. I'm doubling down on it. The West Ham is gonna get Champions League football next season. You heard it here first. So yeah, that is it. Make sure to like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you in the next video and at the end of the season, where I'm gonna be looking like a absolute genius. Let's go. See you guys. Have a nice day.